Hello and welcome back to another rendition of RE Moto. So today we are going to be putting on bits and pieces of the bike that we explained last week. So we're going to start off with the front end, work on some of the headlight, mudguard and the clamp, and we're probably going to put the rear light on as well. So that will pretty much be today. So let's just get straight into it. First off, let's put this mudguard on. Now we've got that front mudguard on, what we're going to do is we're going to put the headlight brackets on. So I've already put the indicator on, we just need to slip these over. But these TEC ones do have a known problem that they don't have the spacer to attach the headlight. So I'm going to have to do that next week when I go into town. But let's get these on. We'll just sit that loose on there for now, and let's go and do the other side. So this is what I was meaning here. So there's a space just down in here, and that requires like a 10mm spacer for this to be straight. Otherwise this tries to pull this in and just doesn't sit nice and flush against in here. So that's just going to be a next week job. So we've got kind of the headlight roughly in place. I'll go through and tighten this when I've got the clamp on, just so then I can measure the height of the light and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to move now onto the rear mudguard and the rear light, so we might as well get that on. So let's move down to the back of the bike. What I'm doing here is just fitting some resistors to these for them. I could have added, probably an easier way would have been a relay, but oh well. So we've just wrapped up putting the rear lights on, hoping the wiring's right. If not, I get the fun of taking it all apart again. So let's have a look at what it looks like. So as you can see, that's a huge difference from stock. So what we're going to do now is move on to fitting the clamp, the steering clamp, and just fitting all the steering components. So let's move on to that. I remember this. I've made the same mistake again. What I forgot to do is put the clamp-ons up top. So now I've just beat it down. I've got to beat it back up again. But that's okay. Alright, as you can tell from the last clip, I'm in different clothes. That's because, as you last saw, me bashing with a hammer was an utter mistake. I forgot to bring the clip-ons high enough to then allow it to sit where it should be. And the result was that me beating that down, jammed it on there. I spent 3 hours with bits of wood, hammers, pullers, everything, and yeah, I own up to my mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and say I do everything perfect because, like I said, I'm not a mechanic, and I learn from a mistake. So that was a bit of a costly mistake and a bit of a time mistake, because when I put the gear puller, I tried to use a gear puller to pull the clamp up because just nothing was working. It kind of dug in and then ruined the thread on the centre nut that holds the tension on the front. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to reorder one of those. Basically, I should have spent more time preparing. I was probably just a little bit giddy, a little bit excited, and what happened is that basically in the centre here, I hadn't cleaned it out properly. It was a little bit tight. They should be a little bit snug, but not that snug. So I've now since then cleaned this out. So just kind of waiting on that new centre nut to come. Like I said, I'm not going to hide anything. But as you can probably see behind me, I have made some progress. So I did this stuff off camera just because it is a little bit fiddly. I'll take the camera up, I'll put the camera up now, and I'll show you what we've done and what we've got left to do, because there's still a little bit left to do in this video. So I'll show you what I have done and why I have done it. Okay, what I've done here is because I'm waiting for the new nut to go in here, I've just pulled these bars up. I've tested this and I can get the clamp on over the top of these, so I've decided to assemble the handlebars. So these ones here, when I put the grips on, there's about a 2-finger spacing here. So what I've had to do is I've re-drilled the pilot hole for these and I've shifted across, which has actually worked out in my favour, because it's now I've got this gap here which I'm able to remount my quad lock and my phone mount, so that's a bonus. You can see I've put the TEC CNC bike levers on. These are really nice. Currently have the side cover off so there's no clutch. I got the mirrors on, those are really nice. I haven't properly mounted the heated hand grips yet. These ain't glued in place, but these are the final location that they will be going, and they feel absolutely marvellous. As for that, I have installed the wiring loom for the indicators. I've just put the resistors in there. I'm so thankful. So these spaces in here, I was struggling to find anything. No one had any spaces, and I just happened to be talking to my good neighbour Pete, and he's like, oh, I've got something like that, here we go. And just absolute coming clutch. What a legend. Otherwise I'd be struggling to find what to do there. The brake side's the same, CNC levers there, the TEC mirrors, and this brake line has become a little bit long. That's just sitting in behind here. I don't want to change it for a shorter one, just because if I do want to change from these clip-ons, then I'll have to change it over again, and it is buried behind down in there. So that's kind of where we're up to, and what I've done. In this next part, what I've got to do is I've got to install a cable that comes down from the headlight bucket and then down through and then into the battery, and that's going to be for the heated hand grips. From that point then, I've got to chuck on the headlight and plug that in. So it's coming along slowly. I've got to wait. I'm going to call it the Jesus nut. I've got to wait for the Jesus nut to come so I can replace that. It's just what happens sometimes. Alright, so next order of build, what we're going to do is we're going to put the wiring in for the heated hand grips, and we'll cable tie that in place, so we'll do that now. Let's hope I don't make any more mistakes, because it took a lot of time and money. Oh well. Basically, I'm just going to follow this main loom down through here. See if I can tuck it in among that. Heaps. What we'll just do is we'll just run it down and alongside and around this loop.
Try pushing cable ties up and around here. There we go.
So now we've just got to connect it up at the end in the headlight. This is pretty easy. There's only certain connectors that will go with certain connectors, so it's just literally join the dots. What I might do is I might just sit the clamp on top of here so I can wire all of the cluster back in, which means I could potentially just test the hand grips. Alright, so the next thing on the bike is to fit the headlight in. This is going to be exciting. I'm wondering how this is going to look. There it is. Oh, that's looking gorgeous. So as you can see, I've got my key up there. Nervous to try it. I don't think anything will happen. I'm just going to turn it on to ignition. I want to check if I need to redo my wiring on the rear tail light, see if the indicators work. Probably should have done it before I cinched up this headlight. But come on, first time. First time, is this going to work? Hey. Okay, here's the no kaboomskis. Now high beam. Yeah, high beam works. Low beam. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, just come and check the indicators. You can come with me. Okay, so this should be the right indicator. Yeah, beautiful. And now, yeah, right. I should go and check the back. Yep, right indicator, tail light's working. And what we're going to do now is just check the, yeah, look at that, wired it, bang on. What we just need to check is, yep, brake light works. Beautiful. So, all the lights are working. As you can see, the fuel gauge is flashing. Funny enough, there's no fuel tank. So that's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode on the electrics. I think that was pretty successful in the end. We had some pretty rough times in the middle there with me just not paying attention and me not doing stuff right. So I'm absolutely ecstatic. The lights work. They were the right ones on the indicators, so I don't have to go back and rewire anything. Magical. The flash rate's great. So resistors are doing the job. The headlight's super bright. That's gonna be just words can't explain how happy I am. So next episode, we're going to be putting on all the engine covers. These bad boys here. So those are going to be going on next episode. So if you did like this video, please give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more build videos coming along. Like I said, I'm just kind of learning with how to film stuff in the shed. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So thank you again, and we'll catch you in another video of RE Moto. Catch you later. Woohoo!